Good afternoon and welcome back to Coach Cricket 11. I'm Byron.
I'm Zendan.
And today we are going to be working on the grip and the stance.
The first part of this video, we're going to be focusing mainly on the grip. There are a couple of key things which we'll demonstrate at a close angle. When it comes to the grip, there are two main variants. It is with the V's that are formed by your thumb and index finger pointed down the center of the handle, or with the bottom hand slightly across, pointing at the offside part of the blade itself. Quick demonstration. So V formed by the top hand and V formed by the bottom hand down the center. A couple of key things is this needs to be very comfortable. Also, there's also a gap generated between the top hand and the bottom hand. Some batsmen prefer it nice and close, others prefer it far. We recommend not going far, as this limits maneuverability of the wrists and thus impacts shot mobility as well. We recommend a 1 finger distance that would be closed by adjusting the grip to your normal stance. There are also a couple of key places where the hands can be on the grip itself. Batsmen tend to prefer holding it at the top or at the bottom. At the top of the blade, it gives you longer levers, which generates a little bit more power, whereas at the bottom of the blade, it's a little bit more wristy, so those drop and runs and working around the gaps itself becomes a bit easier. From the side, we are now going to show you the wrist positions on the grip itself. The top hand is nice and firm or strong, with a very strong wrist position as well, where the bottom hand is nice and loose and comfortable. You can check from the angle. There's a slight angle generated from the bottom hand towards the blade. The top hand is your leading hand and controls the shot. The bottom hand assists and controls the power.
Moving forward to the stance, we're going to start from the bottom and work our way up, because that's the easiest way to determine that we don't forget anything. So right at the bottom of our body is our feet. So what we want is we want our feet to stand shoulder width apart. We're going to look at it from the front first, and then we'll look at it from the side thereafter. So it's going to be shoulder width apart, either in line with each other or even slightly open. Some people have this foot slightly open in the stance already. They are the people that struggle with a ball that comes a bit straighter. Let's just look at it from the side quickly. As you can clearly see, the feet are slightly wider than shoulder width or shoulder width apart, so that you've got a good firm base to move from. If Zendan had to step forward now, you'd see that it's an easy motion going forward. Okay, moving up from there, we are now going to move on to our knees. In the stance, the knees must be slightly bent. This enables us to be able to move with a little bit of explosive movement. So Zendan's got slightly bent knees over his feet, and if he had to step forward now, it would be a nice smooth motion. If the legs are too straight and braced, he won't be able to move, and that could be a problem for a batsman. Moving further on, we are now going to move to hips and shoulders. We're going to use them as one. The hips and shoulders have to be open and aligned to the bowler, while also being in line with the feet. After that, we are going to move down to the hands. Obviously, we have spoken about the grip, so I'm going to leave that out here. But moving forward, you can see that the hands are set slightly further back, more towards the back hip, while still keeping a nice figure 9 shape in the stance itself. With this, we can see that the bat face is slightly open and the bat is angled slightly away, and it is not hidden behind the body, because we don't want to have to come around ourselves to play a cricket shot. Also, if we have a look from the side, in the stance now, we can definitely see that nice figure 9 shape, but you can also see that the head is slightly forward in the stance and that the eyes are level with the ground. Looking from the front, we can clearly see that this elbow is facing forward. That makes sure that we've got the figure 9 here. It's really like a rocking a baby sort of motion. Also, what some batsmen do is they like to move their toes up and their heels up to make sure that the weight is over the center of their foot and not that they're on their heels or on their toes. If you're on your heels, you might be falling backwards in the stance, but if you're on your toes, you might be falling across. And those are both problems that might come in the future. Thank you once again for watching this video. Just as a point of interest, we feel that in cricket there's the 80% rule. If you do 80% of the things right and it is comfortable at the same time, that is how you're going to grow your cricket.
We are quickly now going to show you guys the grip from the batsman's perspective. Please pay special attention to the two V's down the center of the bat or down slightly on the offside of the blade. From here down into the stance. In the stance itself you can see the powerful top hand and the loose bottom hand.